All right, class, this is your P5 notes for section 5 of your textbook. I am going to go over notes and basically I'm going to be doing multiple videos because I don't want the files to be so big and it doesn't save or we can't upload it, okay? So the first thing we're going to talk about is what is a relation, okay? So a relation is basically a set of ordered pairs, okay? Relation, the word relation really is, you see relationship in there, okay? Or relationship, you see relation. So a relation is just a set of order pair. It is a relationship between two different variables, okay? So in basic informal words, it's just a set of order pairs. So it's just points, all right? What you need to be worried about is that your relation can be written or represented in different forms, okay? So for example, you have what's called a set notation, you have functional notation, you have mapping, you have XY table, or you could have a graph, and they are all the same thing. They all give you the same information, just using different mediums. All right. So in set notation, what you need to pay attention to is that your points are inside braces, okay? So your notation braces are these squiggly little braces, and then the points are written, as a point using parentheses, and the x and the y values are separated by a comma, okay? So again, the first value is your x value, and the second value is your y value. Okay, and not only are these points in braces, but they are also separated by a comma. Okay, so that's the only thing which is new, or maybe you're not so familiar with. Okay, so that's called set notation. Function notation, it's just higher language in math. We don't use x and y, we just use f of x. Okay, so here this is f of 2 is equal to 4. That means that when x is equal to 2, the value of the function is equal to 4. But it's basically, again, a point, okay? It's the point 2, x equal to 2, and y equal to 4, okay? So, but, again, it's in function notation. It gives you the same information, all right? Then we have a mapping. I don't know if you guys have done a lot of mapping, but when we talk about domain and range, I hope that your teacher has showed you something like this in the past. Domain, again, is basically your x values. Range is your y values. Okay, so we put all the x values in order on the left a diagram, and then on the right diagram we put all the y values and we map them. So we map, let's say 2 to 4, we use a straight line and an arrow, okay? And that basically means you have the point 2, 4, and so forth. Okay, so that's your mapping. We could put the same information, organize it in an XY table. That this is what we first teach you how to do this in Algebra 1. Okay, we tell you, okay, use different or choose different numbers for your x and find out what y is. Okay, and so I hope you remember how to do this. Again, this is just a point. Oops. This is just the point 2, 4, the point 4. 2, and so forth. Okay, so that one should be very familiar to you. And I could also use a graph. Okay, so I can just go ahead and put my XY axis down, and I can put the point at 2, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the point 2, 4. I can put the point 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2, and so forth. All right, so these are different ways of representing the same information, okay? A set notation, function notation, mapping, XY table, or a graph. We want you to be proficient in all of these, okay? Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about what a function is, okay? A function is a relation, a special type of relation where there is no repetition in the domain. No repetition in a domain means you don't have the same x value for two different y's, okay? So let's take a look at a few examples so that you know exactly what I mean by no repetition in the domain, okay? So in 3, we have the examples. Here I have a relation which is represented through a mapping, okay? So if you look here, you will see that this one here, all your x's are different. So I don't see any numbers being paired twice, okay, from the domain. So the question 2, are these functions? How do you know? The answer would be yes here. Why? Because there's no repetition. Okay, if you look at B, okay, I see right away a repetition. The 2 is the same. Okay, so this would be no, because there's repetition, okay, in the domain. If I look at C, all the numbers are different, so this would be yes again, because there's no repetition, okay. If you look at D, let's take a look at the Y value, the X values. They are all different, 1, 4, 8, 9. So again, this would be yes, no repetition. E, again, I see a -2 and a -2 there, so that's a repetition, so the answer is no. And C, -2, -1, 8, that is yes, no repetition in the domain. And this one here, again, look at all the X values. It's a -2, a -1, a 0, a 1, a 2, just the X values. There's no repetition, so the answer is yes. All right, so that's how you determine if you have a function or not, okay? Let's see, let me see if I want to do this one.